Apple Bite, where we take a bite out of the apple and share it with you. And the apple, of course, is all the geek things in the world that we love to do. And today we got a beautiful full house here with JM, Tim, Sebastian, and John.
Hello.
What up, guys?
Hey. How's everybody doing?
It's too much enthusiasm, people. It's too much.
For the record, I'm sitting down.
I think we're all sitting down.
No, I'm glad Tim clarified. I thought he was standing up at the desk. Yeah,
it's a dominance thing.
Yeah.
I'm technically hiding in Obi-Wan's Kenobi's closet right now, so shh.
Isn't that how it is for us? We got to figure out where to do the show and how to do it with all the other stuff that happens around us.
Yeah. Well, I'm lucky. The only thing I got is this, and she.
Well, Pete Vasquez is already jumping in saying, "Let's go."
What up,
Yeah.
Pete?
So let's do this. John, I want you to start off and tell the people who you are and what you do, all the beautiful things, because I know GM and Tim are attached to you as well as they do their own thing. But let's go with this. Go for it.
Well, that's loaded. They're attached to me. We can. Glad this isn't a drinking night per se. So
Still
I am
early.
the think tank behind / owner, editor, and janitor of Echidna Comic. Echidna Comic is essentially a newspaper that is entirely comic strips, right? So it's kind of a throwback to what you used to find in the Sunday Funnies, with a twist. There's a lot more games and puzzles, and a lot of stuff done by current comic artists and creators and cartoonists. With their own ideas and their own spins and their own takes, and it's pretty fantastic. And I'm lucky enough to work with guys like these two gentlemen here, Mr. DeSantis and Mr. Jones, along with a plethora of other incredibly. I am the thorn amongst roses. I will tell you that. I do not claim to be the talent. I am a contractor amongst artists in the construction industry, if you will. I just put all the stuff together.
I gotta say, John, you do a great job because you are getting this thing seen everywhere. I like watching you on the social medias as you go from place to place, going, "Come on, check it out, check it out."
Well, when you're 6'5" and you tell somebody to check it out, they better listen. But I try to do it as nicely as possible. And funny, our co-editor, our associate editor Darren Auk is also 6'5". So we were we met Jeff actually for the first time personally at Wellsboro Comic Con. He must have been looking at us going, "What the holy what's going on here?"
I saw him at Garden State Comic Fest.
Mm-hmm.
And he stood up. I was like, "Oh, I knew you were tall." But
Yeah.
Was that with or without the wolf hat on?
I think he had the wolf hat on.
Yeah.
He's a blast. He's a bigger blast in person.
Oh, great guy. Fantastic guy. Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so Jam, go ahead, tell the people who you are and how you're attached to this and all the good stuff. Go for it.
Oh, I think Cyril is trying to get all the attention right now. I'm J.M. DeSantis. This is my cat, Cyrilla. I'm a writer, artist, working on, those are my March events. I put up some more artwork, Raphael, so you should be able to scroll through some stuff there. Yeah, as far as Kid in the Comic goes, I'm the writer and co-creator of The Beast with Led Danovich, and now Chadiana, one of my original properties, is being added to the list of comics. Yeah. A lot of my Valentine's Day things. What's up?
I said they're going to go nuts. I'm telling you, this first issue, you're going to want to frame it. Seriously. It is a classic pinup that kids are going to want to put on their wall. It's that freaking awesome.
Well, isn't that what we used to do with the comic strips? And I know I had a couple of them on my wall when I was a kid. So,
right. Yeah. Well, I told John I really wanted the first, since Chadiana was starting mid-season. I wanted something that was going to be really eye-catching for the first comic, and guess he says I did a good job. I'll defer to him on that.
I so want to show a preview of that number one because it's just so we gave him a full page to work with. It worked out so that for these last 3 issues of season 1, we could give him a full page, right? So he's got an entire full page spread that he just turned into a story / introduction / poster.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, I did what I could. And, when I cut that little trailer for it, too, I mean, what is that? It's only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 panels or something like that. I just used those 5 panels to make the whole trailer out of it, but it's still, there was enough there to work with,
In all fairness, one of those panels is 15 inches tall, too.
Right, yes, that is true. Yeah. Well, I wanted to give everybody a full view of the character since they've never seen her before. Yeah.
They got it.
It sounds so weird to me because I've seen her so many times.
Right. Well, yeah, but for you,
Not that kind of full view.
Yeah, you've seen her so many times, but there's plenty of people that have probably subscribed to the newspaper that have never seen my stuff before and certainly haven't seen her. So yeah,
they're in for a treat.
Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, giant spider for the first 3. We got something good.
No spiders, no.
Yeah. Well,
Jim, I know your style. With drawing spiders, no.
Oh man, that gives me such a good idea. I should make separately, right? Something with a top hat and a little like 8 monocles or whatever.
Ooh, that'd be great.
Like the Peanut Man, like Mr. Peanut.
Yeah, exactly.
You can call
I
him
can
Mr.
see
Webb.
this little spider with the monocles now.
It's
Right.
like Mr. Webb is here.
Yeah.
Oh.
Allow me
Can I
to
show
grasp
the
you in my
sketch?
web.
Oh yeah. Well, you're getting a shot right there of the Beast, the first issue of it. I'm still trying to find a great way to display those because now we're up to 5 issues, and I gotta get a new stand or something so that I can show off both comics and all the issues. But yeah, if you're missing any, you can always find me at a convention. I have issues 1 through 4 and 5 on the way. So
Can I show a preview of? I remember the sketch, the original concept sketch you sent me of the strip for 5.
Oh yeah,
I've got it up on my screen right here.
Oh, you do have it on your screen. Okay, I was going to.
Mind if I show it?
You got it. No, absolutely.
Just you put it on the share, and I'll put it up over here.
So actually, this one came together kind of in a unique way because usually I script first and then do the breakdowns, but I was this had to come together so quick, so I was just kind of like working everything all at once. And I think I was at a lull at a convention. I was just standing up and sketching out this layout. So, and it matches pretty well. I think I changed like one panel by the that's the actual in development page. Yeah. So that's unfinished, but you can see the pencils and some of the ink going on it.
It's just
Beautiful.
a little taste, you know what I mean?
It's a tease.
Yeah.
Sorry, I sound like a New York drug dealer for 2 seconds there. My bad.
No,
Okay, come on. We want some more. It's just a little taste.
Yeah. Quite literally the drug bugs, right?
Exactly. It's a little taste.
Give me more JM.
Yeah. Well, you're going to get plenty. 10 issues of Chadiana now, in the Kid in the Comic, plus whatever else I'm doing, besides.
So the story in the Kid in the Comic is going to be different than what you've done already, or is it like something comparable or similar?
So this is a funny thing about Chadiana. When I originally, had the concept for the character, and when I released the first issue I did self-published, I had the idea of like, there would be this larger arc for her story, but there would be pockets where it could have this very Conan-esque or Red Sonja-esque kind of thing where I could just have these standalone stories that happen throughout. So, the Kid in the Comic stories, well, it's two connected stories. It's but like one long thread. Yeah, it'll be a standalone thing. Yeah. Still a little information you get about her, for anybody that hasn't read the character before, but it's its own thing, and it helps me because like I can still like do these one-off stories of hers without needing somebody to have read like all the back lore and everything. It just it helps, and then they can always go back in, and check out the other stuff later.
There you
You
go.
left two people out, Pete.
Wrath.
Party.
It's a party in here.
It
But
is.
I like the fact that you're doing something different in there because especially if you're already somebody who follows you, you get something new.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that was the other thing too. I mean, I had to give something that, of course, anybody that's never read the character could get a nice introduction to her. But then for anybody that has been reading it, sorry, got to turn my phone down. But for anybody that has been reading Chadiana, I want them to have something new, something they can sink their teeth into and be like, hey, like this is good. I gotta get a new story, So they're not having to rehash something that they've already seen, and it kind of hopefully will promote more subscribers that already know. I know at least one of my super fans is subscribed to a Kid in the Comic, so he's excited that Chadiana is getting to.
Is that the one I met?
Did you meet
Garden State Comic
Dwayne?
Con?
No, Dwayne wasn't at Garden State.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know I took a picture of that guy with with your stuff.
Oh, that was Rob. I don't know if Rob's subscribed or not, but Rob is Rob's another super fan. He's on my Patreon and everything. So
I'll give me his name. We'll reach out. We'll get him in.
yeah,
We'll come and get you.
he was. I know that he tried to subscribe when I gave the whatchamacallit, the code the first time before it was working perfectly. So I don't know if he went back in and tried to get it in. But yeah,
What's Rob's last name?
Williams?
I don't think so. But I'll tell you.
Okay. I'm going to yell at him then.
I'm coming to get you.
Just enough to intimidate him to subscribe, not to scare him away. Just fine line.
Yeah. No. Rob's good. He's very supportive.
All right, Tim, it is your turn.
Oh,
Tell the
hi.
beautiful people what you do, all the good stuff, and tell them how you're attached to a Kid in the Comic.
Well, I am the creator, artist, writer, and resident moron
Wrong one.
of the comic strip Sour Grapes. It's a self-syndicated comic strip. It's in about 42, 43 newspapers across the country right now. It's on some websites, news websites and that. And yep, that's the latest one right there that came out last week. So it's a weekly comic right now. And I've got a bunch of books that go along with it as far as compilations go. And John was nice enough to pick me up and put me in A Kid in the Comic, which I'm forever grateful. And love being in there. It looks great, John. It's nice and big. I hope people are enjoying it. I know that you initially were a big Ominous the Cloud fan.
I want to know how you came up with that. That is, look, I love all the characters, but a pet cloud, that's just, and the name, the play off of it, that's great. That's just so good.
Thanks. Well, Ominous, years ago, like a long time ago, like this is the 10th year for Sour Grapes.
Wow.
Being around, but I've kind of done like a soft relaunch within the past year and that. So the characters have grown and developed in that. My writing's kind of Um, a little different, but not really. So bunch of minor subtle changes, but years and years ago, Aesop used to just have this cloud that followed him around because he was miserable, and I was kind of influenced by Eeyore, who sometimes you'd see with a cloud over him, raining on him, and
Yeah.
that type of stuff. So,
That's good.
and so, but I would just have him this cloud in the background would just kind of follow him around, and I would kind of have that in some drawings I did with him, and have it rain on him. Again being influenced by Eeyore, but as time went along, I had taken one of the characters out a few years ago that I didn't really wasn't feeling it for him much anymore, and I had to replace it. And so I just thought I'd think outside of the box, and I said, well, Aesop's a dog, but we refer to him as an individual, and I thought it might be fun to have Aesop have his own pet. So then I thought about that cloud, and I said, wouldn't it be fun if I just had a pet cloud? And then I came up with the name of ominous. So the ominous clouds just kind of fits a rain cloud, and kind of goes along with the definition of ominous. So voila, now we have ominous, the pet cloud, and he's got his own personality. He says 3 words all the time: rumble, rumble, rumble. Say that 5 times fast.
That
And,
collar is awesome.
That
Just thinking that's a nice touch.
Yeah.
No, thanks. I say, well, how am I going to make him look like a pet? So I'll put a collar on him. Sometimes he's got a leash. I kind of took the leash away, so he's like a free range cloud. But he's got his own little sneaky yet intelligent personality about him. So it's a very visual thing, but the way I write it with Aesop and Ominous is that Aesop's kind of translating for us. So it's kind of like Aesop's ask a question, like kind of repeating what he said to the audience, kind of way. This one not so much, but so it's I have to play along with some of the physical aspects of it and stuff. So
He does pee on people quite a bit.
he does. He does. He's got a lot of water retention, so he has to let it out.
Oh,
Some of the best couples have always had that. I'll translate for him.
Oh,
Like Han Solo and Chewbacca.
Yeah,
right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of like that same idea. Yeah, I never thought of that.
Yeah, I didn't really either. That's interesting, but you're
see,
right.
You just painted a bad picture in my head, Ralph. Thank you. Watching Han Solo going at Chewie. Stop raining on me.
Oh man, yeah. No, after I said it, I was like, "Ooh."
So there's other characters in the strip, and so you see them come in and out. And the tagline is that Aesop's a miserable flying dog. And let's see. Oh yeah, that's Constance. That's the other character, Maddie. That's his little sister. So Aesop lives with his family. It's kind of like his adopted family. There's Maddie is kind of the head of the household. With his younger sister, there's no mother and father figure. There's no wife, so he's like the older responsible, not really, brother that kind of is the pathetic adult in the room kind of thing. Constance is your 16-year-old brat. Arms folded all the time, thinks the world revolves around her, just your basic teenager. She can't stand Aesop, and or Ominous for that matter. She's just angry all the time, but so that's Constance. I don't know if you can find one with Maddie in there, Ralph. Oh, there he is. Wow, that was quick. So, so that's Maddie. He's the not so bright scientist, and he and Aesop are pretty much the two biggest characters that you'll see more of Maddie than anybody else. Maddie's a nerd who kind of takes after my nerd side, which is most of my side, and so he has trouble with women. He just has trouble with everything. As a matter of fact, this whole strip is about just a problematic, troubling world that they all live in, and Aesop just happens to be the guy that's reluctantly trying to help everybody out in his own miserable way. So that's that. Who else is left? Is Ominous and Stuart's in there somewhere. He doesn't come up very often. That's not Stuart. That's my brother. You gotta go down, down, down. Oh, and then there's snowmen that peek up. That's right. They're the other. It's a weird world that Aesop lives in, and every now and then he's got these snowmen friends. There's about 3 of them: Horace, Henry, and I'm not sure who the other guy is. I have to think about it. But so he communicates with these snowmen. You'll see that it's done in thought clouds, and it's usually just a really bad joke.
Can I say something?
Yeah,
I really appreciate that, Joe, for someone who's worked in the call center.
Yep. As a matter of fact, for this week, I'm doing another a snowman episode. So they mostly come out during the winter time, obviously, but it's tough because I'm in newspapers down in Florida and Texas and in Georgia, so I kind of just give it to them anyway, whether they like it or not. But there's another character named Stuart, and that's Constance's boyfriend. He'll be in there in that list somewhere, but
rumble.
Oh, and I started creating Ominous friends for Ominous, and one of them's Dustin. He's a dust cloud. Oh, there he is, right there with the telephone. Yeah, he's a dust cloud. I gave him his own episode once where what does that say? What's that, Dustin? You just got an urgent phone call. Geez, I hope it wasn't anything bad. It was just a particulate matter.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you for laughing. But yeah, Stuart's in there. He's there he is right there. There he is. Okay. So that's Stuart. That's Constance's boyfriend. And the story with him is that he was always just talked about by Constance. She would complain about him and say, oh, he wants to break up, or he said this and he said that she didn't like, and that. So when I took out the other character, I wanted to bring someone else in. And sure enough, I said, well, you know what? I'm going to bring Stuart in and give him some life. And so there he is. I put Ominous in this so they can all start interacting and not just Aesop with Ominous. What's up with Ominous, Aesop? I'm not sure, Stuart. I mean, he seems to be okay. Don't let him fool you, bud. He puts up a good front. And so Stuart's MO is he's underachiever millennial.
You write weather humor too well. Did you have an underlying desire to be a weatherman when you were growing up?
No, but I did. I was on Channel 10 that's around here. And who's that guy? And I went on with the meteorologist because some of the jokes I have with instead of Ominous seeing a vet, he sees a meteorologist. And so I said she was a fan of Ominous being a meteorologist, so they put me on the show. Oh yeah, that's the strip where he's selling. Ominous got a summer job once, and he was selling shade at the beach.
Telling you, I'm a big Ominous fan.
So doing a comic strip is different. I love doing it because my goal is to make people laugh. But that's my book that just came out late last year. So doggone miserable. So that's a compilation of like about a year's worth of strips and that and some other fun stuff in there. But the fun part about a strip and the good part about a strip, there I am on TV there that's the meteorologist lady, is I can't hear if the people are laughing or not, so I'm hoping that it's funny. you know.
Do you ever feel like you're under the gun, like because it's a weekly strip? I couldn't imagine that, right? It's do you ever get to like your deadline day and you're like, oh, I just haven't thought of something, or do you try to stay so many weeks in advance that you give yourself this huge buffer?
Yeah, that's today. I'm like, oh my god, because Mondays and Tuesdays are the day that I have to get the strip done because all the newspapers that I'm in have different deadlines for when they print the newspaper, as I'm sure that you know, John. So my deadlines are Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday, Monday, in that order. So it's not. I get on the laptop and I send. They all get the same one, thank God. And some of the newer papers, I give them the backlog, and then eventually they catch up, to the current.
That has to help you out a little bit.
A little bit, it does. But
well, when I talked to Tim, I went through. I started, kind of stalking his social media after I agreed to do this, and I'm like, "Ooh, I'm going to pick the best of Ominous." I'd like this one and this one and the other kid in a candy store.
Ominous is cute and funny.
It's funny too because Ominous has his own fan, he became this like thing that people were really telling me that they love Ominous and stuff, and I'm like, a cloud, really? And and he doesn't say much,
Neither does Woodstock.
No,
you got Gary the Snail. Ominous is like It looks like it's right up there.
Exactly, he fits right in.
And what's funny is one of the major syndicates, this is going back a couple of years ago, sent me an email when I was pitching it to them, and this editor, who's not there anymore, thank God, wanted to know what Ominous's backstory was. What?
Precipitation?
Are you kidding me? And what do you mean a backstory? Like where did he start and where does he come from and why does he have a?
I've never thought about it.
What do I have to explain it for? I didn't get it, and I wanted to say to her, and because you mentioned Woodstock, that's when we thinking about it. It's like, did they ever explain Woodstock,
No.
where he came from and stuff? And did they ever explain why all of a sudden Snoopy's flying around as the Red Baron on his doghouse?
It was just attached to Linus's stories.
Yeah, it just doesn't.
It's the mystery.
Yeah.
I didn't respond to her about it. I was just like, thank you very much. And if you want, if your whole thing is about a comic strip having its own world, which Sour Grapes does, but for some reason these characters have to have this, extravagant, specific background and storyline and all this stuff. Like, it's a comic strip, Nothing against stuff that has, intricate storytelling and stuff like that, which is important in that. But for a comic strip, it's a 1-2-3 punch for me. As long as it makes sense and it works, and it's a good finished product every time, and it's hopefully funny, then I've done my job.
I think in this world with all this continuity and people wanting things to work together, and I think it's refreshing to see something that's just something. I don't want to know the world. I just want a joke.
Well, that was the whole beautiful appeal to comic strips. When you got them in the Sunday Funnies, there was no origin. It was just, okay, we got a new story with these characters all the time, and it was just that mystery of those characters, but it made those worlds fun.
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
like, you have your set stories where this has an origin, this, that. Like, everybody has their lane, pretty much.
Right. So the strip is in Rhode Island where I live. So Rhode Island, Mass, Georgia, Florida, Texas, New Mexico, Colorado, California, and Alaska. And I'm saying that because when you saw that picture of me on the TV show, she was asking me about the where the how many papers I'm in and where what states is it in and stuff like that. Right. And I said, well, I just got into another one in Florida, and I just got into Alaska. And me being the stupid stand-up comedian that I'm not anymore, I said well, I didn't know that they could read in Alaska.
Oh.
And I went, oh my God. And it was a really short interview, and the joke was supposed to be I didn't realize polar bears could read. But that didn't come out. The other one came out. And the only people that I didn't get any flack about that, she laughed genuinely, and nobody said anything about it. I got about 100 and hundreds of likes on the video and stuff like that. The only people that noticed it, of course, was my family.
Believe it or not, that probably be the one thing that'll make you go viral, and everybody's like, "Oh, I like this guy."
Yeah,
and you get your big fan base in Alaska.
So why can't this go viral? But so anyways, so that was a experience and a half. But I'm glad people like it, and I just keep on adding newspapers and stuff. So I must be doing something right.
And Tim, I'm assuming, I'm hoping that you would like to be with us for year 2.
Absolutely, I was hoping you'd say that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love
Virtual
it.
handshake, done deal.
Yep. Yeah. I just can I ask you if you're getting any reactions to the strip from when people read the paper?
The thing with I interact a little bit with the subscribers, and when I get to shows, I get some really cool reactions about a lot of different things. But I think, especially you guys who are out at cons and Ralph and you guys, you're in the mix with all the people who are seeing it and doing it. I get more from the artists telling me different things about what they like. I have gotten so the people I'm closer to that that in the industry that have subscribed, they'll give me some really good, honest feedback from everything, a print quality and an adjustment to, I really love how that line hit, or good cliffhanger on this, or so that's kind of good. So I do get some. Our audience, what people seem to like the most about it is it's action adventure, great story, in depth, then funny. Then we're, hey, I'm doing a puzzle, I'm doing a game. Then we're back to action adventure. Like, there's a flow there that allows people to pick up the paper and put it down, and at the same time have some different things to do. Even if, let's face it, some strips hit, some don't, with some people in different ways, just like comic books do. If one doesn't hit, they can move on, right? It's not just you buy a detective comic nowadays. If you spend $5 on it, and if it's not hitting right with you, that's what that whole comic is, right? You're not, you don't get a different option. So
right,
that's some of the great feedback that we've gotten is the variety and we're trying to add a few more. Well, we've just added 2 new artists. David Brown, okay, and Rick Brooks, who they're both comedy strips and they're both hilarious. Mr. Morris is Rick Brooks' comedy strip about he is an educator himself. So it's a script just about a school teacher and some of his funny interactions with his students, which the reality base of that makes it hysterical. And then Planet Joey is David Brown's strip about this kid who has a best friend who's a bear. And the reasoning for that is now David's from Canada. And this kid lives in Canada. He's a big hockey fan. He's a big Toronto Blue Jays fan. So it all, kind of like Calvin and Hobbes type thing with that. And it's pretty fun. The art is great. It's really good stuff.
Cool.
So we got some cool things coming up for the next. I mean, man, I'm excited. One thing there's Mr. Morris there. There's Rick. One thing I've already revealed. There's David Brown, Planet Joey. Is our interview section. Our interview section. We did the chitter chatter section, which was fantastic, right? Oh, by the way, we promote a lot of old commercials and anything that's nostalgia based. You're on our social media right now, pumping through some of that nostalgia.
I think it's brilliant.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
It gives feel for your style, because going back with having everything in that newspaper format and then bringing back these old ads, it's gonna make me become a subscriber. I just love all that stuff.
Yo, I got some back issues.
First time I saw this thing, I was like, whoa.
I'm like this. So shut up and take my money. Here you go.
I love the Play-Doh commercial there.
Oh man, the fun factor. Are you kidding? And they say you can't smell a picture, but everybody right now can imagine smelling Play-Doh right now.
Smelled it the minute that commercial played.
Yep. Our Joe Waz just recently signed on. He'll be with us all next year. I don't know if you know Joe, but he's an award-winning animator and cartoonist. He is responsible for doing the Starkist Tuna shark.
Oh, nice.
He does maze tunes. So he does hand-drawn mazes. If you got our issue 4, which was our holiday,
I saw the maze.
that full-size maze was hand-drawn by Mr. Waz. So it's pretty cool. But again, back to what we revealed for this upcoming year, that Chitter Chatter page was really nice. It was getting some questions out to our artists and that, but we found that it was kind of a lot of the same questions, right? So we wanted to kind of keep in the same theme of communicating information and nostalgia. So now we're adding information interviews with nostalgic figures, I guess I would say. So we do some interviews, we transpose them, put them in print. This first interview that we did was with Daryl Vidal. If you're a Karate Kid fan, Vidal was the guy who made it to the finals against Johnny, the one who did all the spin kicks. Mm-hmm. And he did a fantastic interview that told all these behind the scenes stuff, all this really cool, interesting notes about the Karate Kid. And it was a blast. It was. I kind of geeked out a little bit in the middle of the interview. It was like an hour-and-a-half interview recorded, and then we had to pare it down to one page worth of stuff. And I got him to admit that he would have won. He would have killed, destroyed everything in Fall Valley, and he says it right there, is perfect, So
I gotta say, I don't envy you, because I've done that whole interview, then put it down to like a written interview, and it's not easy.
You got to cut out some good stuff. You've only got so much room.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's why I like this better, because you can just air everything.
No, it is cool. It is cool, and I'll take the highlights of the interview after the issue comes out, and I'll start pumping those out on social media.
Oh, that'd be perfect. Yeah.
So that we get a little bit of both. I did screw up though. My voice was not coming across on the interview when I recorded it. I just realized. So I have to kind of insert the questions that I'm asking when you hear his answer. But I think it really adds something.
Get somebody else to voice over it and go, "That's not you."
Right. But it really adds something to the paper.
I think so. Yeah.
Photos in there. There's a lot of cool content, and we're working on. If you know anybody cool, okay, that's retro cool, like obscure is even better. That was in a movie that we all loved back in the day, or TV series or something. Let me know. I'd love to interview them. I'd love to get something out there. So that would
Well, we
be.
run into a lot of people, so I'll send some of them your way.
I've got a con next weekend. There's a couple of old school wrestlers and different people there. I think
That's always a popular one. Old school wrestling,
Yeah.
especially right
Oh
now.
man, they have stories for days.
Yeah.
Old school wrestlers.
I don't know
What
if I can.
Comic Con is that, John?
It's local to me. It's called the Great Lakes Comic Con. So
We know Great Lakes, yeah.
yeah, it's not huge, but I'll tell you what, they draw some great artists there, and a few celebrities. Always a couple of big wrestlers involved. I've met people there last year. Mike Royer, fantastic inker for Jack Kirby. I've met Bob Layton there.
Bob Layton's my favorite.
Yeah, just so good. I mean, Bill Morrison is always making appearances there. Al Milgrom was there.
Oh, I love Al.
Yeah. So there's been so many. Jim Steranko's been there more than one time.
Wow.
So there's been a lot of cool, iconic people that have been there.
I usually find like the smaller shows you get to connect with people more, especially in various different industries versus like the bigger ones where everybody is just like it's just chaos. So always love the smaller conventions just because of that intimacy, and then that's how I build relations. I mean, build relationships with Ralph and JM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly how we did it.
So let me ask you,
you guys so many times.
So Ralph and Sebastian, you both read the paper. You've taken a look. What would you add to it if you're sitting in the editor's desk?
Interesting.
What would you like to see? What would be cool for your style, your type of reader to see in the paper?
I know you're doing those old time commercials, on the Instagram. Can you find either old time commercials that still work today, or just put in some old time commercials from the days past? But I think if you did if you got like some advertising that actually worked with that style of advertising from back then, that might give you some extra revenue too and be entertaining.
Well, getting people to pay for it is one thing, but my friend, page 3, bottom left-hand corner, blast from a past. Every issue has had an old-time ad in it.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, we've had Stretch Armstrong, we've had the Army Men.
You can always stick in the classic bullpen page or writer's page where people send in questions.
Yep, we had that.
Always cool.
That's what we turned into our interview page. Yeah.
Oh, that's so you turned that into the interview. Okay.
So John, this is my first time meeting you, and Ralph did not send me a copy. I'm going to pick on you later, Ralph. But learning about kids in the comic, do you guys also remember like Wizard back in the day? Sometimes they used to have a drawing section where artists would teach little tips and tricks on drawing. Do you guys do that too?
Yes, sir.
Ooh, okay. Like I said, should I take my money?
No. I can share. That's the great thing. I have on my computer here all the different. Well, let's here. I got a good one for you here.
I find that great what you're doing with Kids of the Comic, and then everybody getting together. I guess I feel like left out the club. I'll pick on you, Ralph. But no, it's a great thing because I mean,
Sebastian,
for me as a kid
right down your
up,
alley. So
you just said be on Sebastian. I'm like, cool. Gave you my thumbs up. I love you. So no, it's cool that this is being done, especially in print, because I remember back in the day as a kid, growing up and picking up Wizard magazine. That was one of my favorite sections. That's pretty cool right there. I love it.
That's Glenn Whitmore. Glenn does a really good strip called Captain Clockwork. It's his own IP about a hero detective that travels through time trying to foil things, and this is how he explains drawing it, and did a nice job in the setup and all the way through inking. So he did a great job, and we've had several of these demonstrations, if you will, and how that works. And just so you know what I don't want to give out too much, but Blast from the Past here, This is, I'm going to present that screen. Can you go back to my screen here real quick?
Sure.
There you go. So these are some of the ones that
Oh,
I remember the sea monkey's head.
yeah.
I remember that.
Oh, that's not. There's no Karate Kid casting card that was sent out back in the day telling about the individual characters.
You gotta get someone to do a spoof Hostess ad, like they used to do with the Marvel and superhero comics.
Guys, I got you covered. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I mean, come on. I need better because I'm one step ahead of you. Okay.
You gotta get Chadiana or what is it? Eating
How
a
about
Hostess
that one
cake.
there? How about Mary Monster doing monster cakes, the rolled up cake, the Hulk one?
I
love
It's like Hulk killed people for Hostess cakes.
At least you took the blood out of it.
He did. The Roller Bistro hipsters.
Oh man.
I love it.
The real fruit filling and monster cakes.
Those used to always be the fun.
Yeah. So
this is so much fun.
And here, I believe here is the original. Yep.
There it goes.
Oh.
So that's the original right there.
That's awesome.
Without the blood too.
I thought it was genius. I thought it was genius. So, man,
you're on the money, bro. You're thinking ahead of the game.
Yeah. On top of it.
Yeah, you are on top of it. I feel like you got all the aspects of what we as kids loved because this is what we loved. It even has a Saturday morning feel to it, and it does have a Sunday funny paper feel to it, which is a great combination.
So do you want to hear some of the aspirations? Now, we shoot for pie in the sky, right? If we get half of these things done the way we want to get them done, we'll be happy.
Right.
But, so here's our pie in the sky. A little, and we'll have it on our website, a little 8-bit video game, okay, that has Henshu, our host, that you can take around and you can mess around with on our website, and have some fun with that. Thinking about for season 2, and I got to work out the details. Do you remember the Choose Your Own Adventure books growing up?
Yeah.
Right. Turn to page such and such. What I'd like to do is to put a small strip, a single panel in the corner of almost every page. Okay. There's Henshu. Yep. In the corner of every page. And what you can do is you can go from one page and choose where our hero goes. Turn to page 12. Does he go down the tunnel? Does he fight the dragon? Turn to page 20, back. Uh-oh, you died. Go back, start over. It's a little tough to pull off, but we're looking at the logistics of that right now to be kind of fun.
That would be kind of fun.
That would be.
So
that would definitely get a lot of people like, okay, what's going on here?
I remember Mad Magazine used to have the fold into the arrows and you pull it out and have another picture when you put it together and stuff. I don't know if that'd be stealing, but it would be neat to have something like that in the paper.
So I love that. I don't think that's copyrighted. The guy who did that, Al Joffrey, just passed away
recently.
Within the last few months. Mm-hmm. And he was the mastermind behind all of that. I think that was
always great.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I think we're going to do too is we're maybe going to do some spreads. I don't know if we'll include them as separate, but what I wanted to do is include an insert with a 3D poster and a set of the red and blue goggles, the paper thing, so you could look at an image, that's 3D. So,
that's a cool idea.
I thought about doing a strip that way, but my only problem with that is I can't really put a pair of 3D glasses in for a subscriber. I could send one out at the beginning of their subscription. Hey, hold on to these. You're going to need them, right?
For a couple of scripts.
Hope that they hold on to them.
Right. But for, say, retail, right? You put them in a comic shop or something else. It's like, okay, what happens? Do I have to provide one per every paper? That gets a little costly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was one guy, so I remember it was a while back. I did a convention in Atlantic City. It was was an anime convention. There was this guy. He did his posters where that if you downloaded an app on a phone, if you scanned the poster, it actually had an animation to it,
Yeah.
which I
Come
thought was
on.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I've
was
seen that a couple
so.
times.
It was like a fan art piece he did of Goku when he was like back in when he was like the little kid bursting through someone, right? So when you scanned the poster, it showed the animation of him doing it. So you got the poster, you could scan the
Hmm.
poster, and you got an animation, which I thought was pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. There's an idea for you.
Okay. Now we're on to something. All right.
Because I can see kids going,
Nope.
"Woo! Look at this!"
Yeah, I mean everybody's playing with their phones now, so
And you've been looking at an electronic aspect of this too, right, John?
Yeah. So we just launched on Global Comics, digital aspect of a kid to comic. Okay. Um, we've also we're in the process of getting approved through Kindle, which also has controlling interest in comicsology, which is a little trickier because if this were just my book, or just say a book with one artist or a cover artist, you have 5 people working on it, no problem. We've got upwards of 40 some people working on it.
Wow.
So getting all the usage rights of all of that nailed down for Kindle has been
That's a lot of work.
we're working on it, put it that way.
That's a lot of work.
It's
good.
but you
It's
can go to
Amazon.
Comicsology right now, or I'm sorry, Global Comics, and you can subscribe or purchase. You can preview for free a few pages of each one of our issues. You can go ahead and
Nice.
purchase the issue, subscribe to it, however.
If you have a link, I'll put it right up over here on the comment section. Just put it
Yeah,
there
let
in
me
the private chat.
go ahead and put that right on there.
And while we do that, we're going to talk a little bit about our co-host here, Mr. Sebastian Bonet.
Oh,
So,
who was that
Sebastian,
guy?
go do
Who
your
was that
stuff.
guy? Who was that guy? All right, I mean, how do you follow up with that, man? Greatness, kids in the comics. So I am Sebastian Bonet. I have debuted back in 2016 when I did my horror comic Dead Planet, which you remember that, Ralph. But
Yeah.
after pandemic, I released what was called Concrete Combat. Concrete Combat was a comic that originally was based off of a poster I was doing, which was going to be like a basketball player looking like a crossover with Dragon Ball. And then it just took a life on its own. So elevator pitch: Concrete Combat is a story that takes place in a cyberpunk fantasy world where you follow the story of Michael Gordon and Beatrice. They got to live up to either their family's legacy or be destroyed by it. And pretty much this world, I just had fun dipping in there and creating it. It debuted in print in Wayward Raven's anthology We Suck at Comics. So issue
Nice.
1 is there, and it's also in Patreon on my Patreon page, where that's where people can go see it digitally right now. Issue 2 is halfway done, and it's already half of it's already listed on Patreon already, and issue 3 is already in the works too. And also to Dungeon Runners, which is the prequel to Concrete Combat. That's the Deadline. Deadline was fun. That was actually a free comic I put out as an artist and everything, but I'll go over that in a few. But Dungeon Runners is another fantasy. It does take place in the same world of Concrete Combat, but you get to see the dystopian side outside the cities and everything. This is actually a new submission for Wayward Raven's second anthology of We Suck at Comics Volume 2, because again, letting everyone know we suck. As far as it goes, I love those guys. Shout out to Mark and Alex. So when it comes down to
is amazing, they're a blast, and it kind of helps us out,
amazing,
independent people out, because sometimes you just can't, shell out all the money to do it on your own.
I mean, if anybody hasn't seen this anthology, I mean, it is okay. I don't have my copy here; it's probably over there. But it's a pretty thick anthology.
It
It's
is.
like
It's
300
pretty big.
pages of various different artists and creators that got together. Wayward Raven put it out there, and it was just a fun book to do. I got credit with coloring someone else's work, which was JJ Barker's, and with submitting in part 2 with for part 2 Dungeon Runners. So Dungeon Runners is in a dystopian world. It takes place before Concrete Combat, and you actually get to meet one of the antagonists that will later be in Concrete Combat in the story. And so I purposely did it out there. George Medina, I gotta give him a shout out. Creator of Wonder Duck. He did the lettering for both books. So Dungeon Runners is actually up fully right now on Patreon for those who subscribe. And again, it's a 20 pages that was done with that. Concrete Combat was 23 pages, and currently issue 2 is going to be about like 30 something pages. So the pages are just doubling up. But I've been having fun with this world, and ever since locking down and reworking on my stuff, I have just been hammering away. There goes one of my fun favorite characters. Get to see her right there, Beatrice. I mean, not Beatrice. I'm sorry, that is Bethany.
I gotta admit, it really pops.
I wanted to capture Psycho, so that's what I did.
Oh, you captured Psycho, all right.
But I had fun with it. I always have fun with colors. I don't call myself a colorist, but I just wanted something that was reminiscent to like anime meets American style comics, as well as just have fun with like bright colors. So even though it's like, yeah, I'm going for this dystopian feel, but the colors just let themselves to play out and everything. So I had fun, a lot of fun creating the different things. I tackle with creating different cities, different down to like different religions, and a lot of my stuff. And we've had this conversation, Ralph, was also playing D&D. D&D allows me
Oh, you can
to.
feel the impact here.
Oh yeah. That was just a little fun joke I inserted in there. That was the treasure. They open it up, as you can see, it's pictures of me. And so a little bit of a meta joke.
Oh
So,
man.
and again, playing Dungeons and Dragons, it allowed me to actually learn more about getting inside a character's headspace.
Hmm.
So sometimes with the roll of a dice roll, what would this character think at this time? What will be going on with
Exactly.
their personality and everything? And it just allowed me to flesh them each out a little bit more than what I originally did for the characters. On my Patreon, I released the first pilot for Concrete Combat, which was the original version I was going to release before, but then I pulled back because it wasn't there. Um, and it was very heavily influenced by Hunter x Hunter, the anime style for that one.
Right. Hmm.
And I'm glad I didn't go that route. And I'm glad I took it back. And after like sitting down, playing a couple of games of Dungeons and Dragons, shout out to the Medusa's Cascade, which is the podcast I'm a part of. With it's been going on since 20th February, and they're still going to
Woo!
releasing episodes every Saturday of this game.
That's even
Um,
before we all got sick.
yes, we all used to meet in person before the world locked down. Um, so and again, Concrete Combat's just been a labor of love. It's been my passion project. Go to. I've already written out planned out already 18 issues, and the story is still going. And that was it's Concrete Combat in a nutshell. And I'm also one of the 4 hosts of Nerds and Around.
Nerds and Around. Love that show. What do you do on Nerds and Around?
We just talk geek. Just geek talk every Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I mean, last week I was out sick. They got to talk about Echo. So they were talking to Echo. George was actually taking my place on the show that day. So George Medina filled in for me the week before. I forgot what we talked about. We just talk random stuff, and it's just us just geeking out, fanning out about all the random stuff that's come out, all the good geek stuff, whether it be from comics, music, everything. Right. Oh, it was Invincible that we covered.
But
So
here's a question for you, because a couple people want me to cover this. They actually want me to do a show on the new X-Men '97 stuff. And are you guys going in that direction, or what are you going to do with it? Because I know there's a lot of controversy on it now, just because.
oh, I'm gonna stand on a hill and tell people like, you have not read an X-Men comic if you're complaining about all the stuff. You do not know what the X-Men were about, my friend. Um, yeah, I'm a little bit outspoken about controversy. I think it's really, I'm gonna put the word out there bluntly, stupid. And it's just have fun with it. It's the stuff is created. If you don't like it, then that's fine. Just let other people enjoy it. Stop sitting, stop pooping on other people's parade. I mean, there's stuff that comes out I don't like, but I'm not gonna be like, poop on people. And guess what? I still review and watch the stuff I don't like
Yeah,
because I go,
so we're
if you're
supposed to
going
do.
to have an opinion on it, you should have at least watched it or read it. Otherwise, I'm like, my opinion does not matter, and that goes for me too. If I haven't read it or watched it, I remain mum, and the reason why I haven't read or watched something is because I know I'm not going to like it, but someone else may like it. A lot of people like Morbius, so I watched Morbius, and I'm like, I got my official license where I can poop on it.
Yes, once you've seen it, you can say whatever you want about it.
Yeah, listen, that was a conversation I had with someone. They were pooping on a movie, and I was just like, "Have you seen it?" They were like, "No." I'm like, "Why am I talking to you? You haven't seen it."
I've never understood that. If you haven't seen it, or you haven't read it, or you haven't, why are you talking about it? Because all you're doing is talking about. I heard somebody said this. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear that. I want to know what you think.
Listen, I sat down to that Zack Snyder movie that they released on HBO. That took years out of my life. And I to this day, I'll tell people that Zack Snyder is a very, very great cinematographer. He gives you beautiful shots.
Beautiful
As far
shot.
as storytelling, like, dude, come. I probably do it. I'm not
The
sure.
Watchmen is beautiful, man. The Watchmen is beautiful.
It was written for him. He didn't write it. Now, when you see Rebel Moon, it's a different story. It's like, thank God he didn't do Star Wars.
Well, isn't that what Rebel Moon is? Is like, this is what would have happened if I would have done Star Wars.
So the funny thing about Rebel Moon, and I know we're walking away from comics right now. Rebel Moon, there's a beautiful world. He gave you beautiful shots. He gives you characters that you've seen before, and they kind of, for me, fell flat. Because I have seen this in an anime called Samurai 7, which actually brings that all together. If this was written as a TV show, I think this would have given Zach more time to explore these characters. But because it's a movie and it's condensed, and I'm like, I shouldn't have to wait for the extended cut to understand where you're going with these characters. To say like, yeah, the extended cut's gonna have more. I'm like, no, you dropped the ball with the first cut. The extended cut is supposed to give me more candy. Not like, okay, we're gonna give you an empty bag of candy and then come get the extended cut and we'll fill your bag of candy. That's not how it should be.
That's life today, though. Here's the empty bag of candy. If you want some more, you're gonna have to come get it.
But no, I saw the potential of Rebel Moon, and then when I sat down and I thought about it, analyzed it, and it wasn't well written. It's too short. The movie depends on beautiful shots too much, and we don't need a slow-mo shot of a grain of rice falling. Like, he overused the slow-mo shot. That was just my opinion on it. But I will digress before Zack Snyder finds me in my bunker, looks for me, and starts to beat me with a baseball bat.
Just make sure you live stream it.
Oh, that's gonna be excellent content. I would definitely live streaming. He'll see me with my phone like this.
Paid, I'm getting paid. I gotta admit, John, as a good segue here, what you're doing is the opposite of what I just said. You're actually giving people the candy and the bag and going, come get some more.
I'm trying, man. The hardest thing in this industry is there's a lot of great things out there. Well, there's a lot of bad things. There's a lot of things out there, right? So just kind of standing in the corner going, hey, look at me, trying to we're doing well. I think if somehow we had that viral moment, which we will, or more people inherent, because the demographic for us isn't as much comic geek as you would think. Like, we've got our followers of Tim and Jeff and Scott Hanna and Bill Morrison. They're all there, right? Yeah. But we also have a large contingent of people who don't read comics, who are older people who are nostalgic to the Sunday funnies, right?
Exactly.
So if we're being completely honest, there are more people out there in the world, probably, than there are comic nerds, which I love. But you see, but it can equally appeal to both sides, which is kind of the cool thing. So we just got to let, the 60-year-old grandpa or the retired guy is like, man, I used to love the Sunday funnies. Yeah. You know what I mean? How does that end up sitting next to his easy chair? His grandkids come over. He's like, hey, come out on my lap. Check this out. You know what I mean? That's the sweet spot that I'd like to hit.
That's a great spot to be, because even I'm a big comic guy. When I look at your newspaper, I'm not thinking comic books. I'm thinking Sunday Funnies. I'm thinking, that nostalgic feeling of those things. And I
Yeah.
like the fact that you have these comic guys in there. It's a bonus, as a bonus, which is exactly what you're saying. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm having the nostalgic feeling of, dude, they don't do this anymore. Even the Sunday news funnies now is not what it used to be. It's like, I think it's like 2 or 3 pages, and you're done.
Yeah, I'm gonna edit it. Yeah,
It's
Well,
not before you had like a nice big thick bunch of comics.
right. And in the puzzles, I think too that I always want to include some of that fun stuff. We
Yeah.
do match games and things like that. But I mean, look at the diversity of people we have between Jeff and Jeff's got the Beast shirt on there with the working with Len Danovich on a fantastic strip there, and then we've got Tim. Just I will figure out how to get an ominous T-shirt or something. Like I'm
I like an
gonna
album
dress
feature.
up as ominous, like
It's
cloud
so
on my head, and it's gonna have little dangly raindrops coming around it, I think. But and then just people, Riley Brown and Scott Hanna, and just some cool. So yeah, that's the latest mock-up of the Beast. I mean, look at that art. It's freaking just just really good stuff. You don't see that in Sunday Funnies,
No.
So that's really the benefit of getting with great cartoonists like these guys and great comic artists, and and I gotta
Wow.
talk up Jeff a little bit here because he co-wrote and worked with Len on the Beast, and phenomenal. And then you see this guy's art in and of itself coming out with Chadiana, and you're like, holy shit, why does the world, everybody know what's going on?
He's a beast.
Right.
That's really kind of you.
Well, it's true. I mean, it's not. This isn't a surprise to the people who like you and know you, and
Exactly.
and Tim forgot 42
Yeah, that
newspapers.
is true.
I mean,
Yeah, it's good. It's a good thing I have fans, because if I didn't, I would just hide in the closet somewhere. Just
You sound like all the rest of us geeks.
yeah,
Anonymous.
That's funny. But we've just recently submitted some large packages to major distribution companies. That's a bit of a process, but possibly looking to get in, kind of like we were talking about where we want to be. Maybe that point of sale thing at every time you go through a checkout at a grocery store, you see People magazine, or you see some smut magazine or something, right? For the adult, the mom, or whatever. It's fair. I got nothing against it, right? Everybody's got their vibe. But what if the kid that's in the cart or being toted along, or the dad that went and grabbed a pint of ice cream sees a kid in a comic in that point of sale checkout line? He's like, oh, I got to grab a copy of that. You know what I mean? So that's what we're trying to hit up right now, and seeing if we can get in, the HEBs and the Krogers and the Piggly Wigglies and the Myers and the Targets of the world.
I think that's fantastic because honestly that's really how a lot of people growing up when kid grew up in the Bronx, a lot of us got into comics, was that you're in that checkout section, and then you see something that is like this picture of this character just grabs your eye, and it's like, Mom, buy me that.
Right.
And you have your mom going like, no. It's like, Mom, please, and you're pulling your mom and everything, and then she finally buys it for you, and then it's like it just opens up this whole new world.
That's the plan. So we always feel we want to present you a feeling. That feeling should be laying on your belly with your hands up in the air, reading this massive spread of comics with a bowl of your favorite cereal on Saturday morning with a cartoon on the TV. There's your vibe.
I gotta say, what's contagious, and I've met a couple of the guys who work on a kid in the comic, like Scott, and it's the energy that they're like, they actually like this thing they're doing, and they're having fun with it. And when I talk to them, he's like, sure, let's do a video, Ralph, come on.
Scott's cool, man. He's, everybody knows him as he's famous for inking, right?
Yeah.
Especially John Romita Jr. That guy is a phenomenal painter and artist and colorer and writer. And man, his mother was a famous classic styled artist, a classically trained artist. He comes from a family of them. So if you ever get a chance to talk to him about that, it's incredibly interesting.
Oh, I love that. I'm gonna have to hit him up about it. But I love the energy that each person that I've talked to, about Kid in the Comic, they just bring it with them. When I talked to JM or Tim, they were really excited about a Kid in the Comic.
We want people invested, right? I mean, because this is like a billboard for their work. Say, hey, here you go. Hey, and Pete, I know they read. That's why we just launched digitally. That's why I put the link up there, brother. So if you want to check something out digitally, go check it out. We're not ignoring you. I think you'll get more out of it with the paper in your hand. Not gonna lie, but it's there, for those on the go.
More fun.
Yeah,
it's more fun to have it in your hand. It's more fun to do the crosswords or the mazes on the paper itself instead of trying to go on a screen.
You know where I think we would be perfect? In those little newsstands in the airport. Think about you get a 2 or 3 hour flight, grab one of these things. Oh, that's perfect. Perfect for a flight.
I think it's dope though that you did get into put it on Global Comics because this does bring that digital awareness. But like I said, some people they're gonna see this now on the digital platform. Eventually that's going to transition to them going, you know what? I see all these great puzzles, I see all this great art. I want to get a physical copy of this. So it's great using that as a way of advertising to a wider audience who may not have access to the physical copy or know that there's a physical copy out there.
Yep.
I think they should put them in the air. Hand them out as you're getting on the airplane.
You got to get a deal, man.
Keep a couple of copies in the bathroom.
Will you take care of JFK for me? And I'll handle Detroit Metro. If you take care of JFK, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I'm sure it won't be too much.
I do feel like, one of the worst things that comics ever did, and I know the comics wouldn't say this to you. Marvel and DC would not say this to you because they're constantly trying to get away from the comic stores, from all this stuff. I feel like the newsstand comics was, that's how I got the majority of my books. Before I found a comic store, the majority of my books came from newsstand comic books. And I feel like the industry kind of shot itself in the foot by going completely away from newsstands.
And that could be like a whole distributor thing too, when you really think about it.
Once the spinner racks went away, right? Once the spinner racks went out of, and the funny thing is, kind of transitioning to distribution, like you were talking about, we are working and approaching. Now, this is a very tough market to get into, but the number one distribution in this newspapers is in Japan, 7-Eleven. They still use 7-Eleven.
You used to be able to buy newspapers in 7-Eleven.
They have a huge following of American culture in Japan, right? And a lot of people speak English, so that's kind of the angle we're looking to see if 7-Eleven will take on a trial basis.
Yeah, 7-Eleven. It's really weird. It's how it's like just something that's just huge over there in Japan, and like you said, it's like to get into that. Like I had a friend who went over there, taught English for a year, and he says that just the difference is like there was a big Spanish food culture out there. They just love everything that's coming from over here. We don't see much of that because we're bringing all their content over here. But to get into that, it's like even exchange. But no, that's a really huge market to get into, and just to have it there for them to pick up. And they still not only do digital, but they're also taking a lot of that physical form, like when you look at the manga books and everything that they're printing out there and everything.
Yeah, it's we hope we can get there. I have a teaser, by the way.
Oh, go for it.
We've signed somebody for season 2, which will launch in the summer after our issues are done here. And all I will tell you is this is a 40-year veteran of the comic industry who also wrote a famous superhero comic strip in major distribution for newspapers all around the country. So I'll leave you with that.
That's a good teaser. So John, now tell them where they can find you after you gave them that beautiful teaser. Go for it.
All right. It's really simple. www.akidinacomic.com. I don't think we even have to say www anymore. Am I just that old? akidinacomic.com. You can go on to as well, Global Comics, and search for A Kid in a Comic. I put the link here on StreamYard that'll also transfer over to our Facebook page. You can check that out as well. There's some samples up on our website. There's a list of all the artists who work with us, do work with us. There's also a fantastic merchandise page there. So if you want to get some of the stuff from your favorite artists for the Beast, if you want to get, what can't you get up there, right? So if you're interested in getting, whether it's t-shirt, sweatshirt, let's go here on merchandise. Tim, we got you up there, right?
What do you mean?
Do we have merchandise up there for you? Yes, right there.
Did I give you something?
Yeah, scroll all the way down. Yeah, sour grapes.
I didn't know that. Where is it?
You got t-shirts up front. Scroll down a little bit more. It's go to page 2.
Oh, of course, I'm on page 2.
So there's a t-shirt that you can get.
Oh, no shit.
You can get it in a couple of different colors.
Oh,
Okay, and then there's also a sweatshirt you can get.
One. How do I get one?
Well, so this is called a third-party drop shipper. So what it is we upload the designs and everything for them, and then you order from them. They directly print and ship to you. I don't ever touch any product. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. I want to take a picture of that. Hold on.
It's on our website, buddy, where it says merchandise. There's a link on there.
I know, but I'm too lazy. Hold on. Can you move that gray square that's over her chest? All right, great.
No, scroll down one. Go back and scroll down one. He's gonna love this.
What?
Right there.
Oh, no.
Oh my God, there's socks.
There's socks.
Wait, is that what that is?
Those are a pair of socks, baby. Sour grape socks.
Oh, wait, hold on.
That's perfect.
You've got to be kidding me.
You know what you should
God.
have is the sour grape cape. I think that'd be great, especially for kids. The little sour grape cape.
I'll have to check the catalog of products. I don't know if a cape is listed there. Maybe I can monogram a throw blanket and call it a cape.
I was thinking,
That'd be the old classic ones.
How about an ominous loofah sponge?
Or an ominous little fuzzy teddy bear.
I want a visual of what that is.
You gotta have Ralph test the product.
You can use ominous to wash where the sun don't shine. Yes.
There's the tagline.
Well, it was an all ages show.
It's after 9 o'clock. The kids are in bed.
Oh yeah,
Right.
we're in a good time now.
Lord.
So JM, tell the people all the good stuff. I'll put your stuff up over here on the side.
Oh yeah, sorry, I had a lag for a second. Okay, yeah. So, oh man, it kind of looks weird when I'm wearing the same shirt. It's like I don't have any other clothes.
This is our wardrobe in the closet.
My God, man, do some laundry.
Somehow I want to do a voiceover right now. Go ahead.
But you want me to do it?
Like the chickens in the Witch Call Theater.
Oh right, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, well, yeah, you can find 2 of my comics through A Kid in a Comic, right? So you can go there. jmdesantis.com has all my blog, my news, links to my books, my comics, everything. So if you want more Chadiana, you can go there. My latest novel, The Kirkland Horror, also is listed there. And yeah, publisher at Darkfire Press as well. So that will also get you.
There goes the JM DeSantis Instagram page where you guys go check out a lot of beautiful stuff and where he is, because he is everywhere.
Oh yeah, well if you if you go to Linktree, which is in my profile.
Oh, it's right there. Hold on.
Yeah, that's got everything. It would be nice if you followed me back too.
I don't get a Linktree.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm already following you. This is my this
Shots
is the page
fired.
I use
Shots
to
fired.
show things off.
Okay.
That's his stalker page.
Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah,
All
but
right,
in the profile, yeah, the link tree's got everything. So you can get point you to all the directions, including to A Kid in a Comic. I think that's the top link right now.
And it goes full circle because on A Kid in a Comic, there is the Linktree page to Jeff's.
There you
There
go.
goes the Linktree page, folks. So you can see it there. Everything.
How do you entertain a comic artist? Click, click, click.
Yeah.
I like these link trees. Make life so much easier.
Yeah, it's really good for somebody like me that can't focus on just one thing. So yeah, it works out. It helps.
All right, Tim, your turn. Go for it.
So what's the question? Where
You're
can
telling
people
people
find
who you are, where you are, all the good stuff, where they can find you.
If you go to sourgrapescomic.com, that's the website for Sour Grapes, and you can see everything on there. There's the social media stuff. There's links on that. There's contact for me. There's always the latest strip, and then there's the gallery, so you can read all your favorites there. There's a page that has a list of all the newspapers, so maybe you live in the area of one of the newspapers there. Yep, there it is there. There's a press media page where you can see some of the other interviews I've done and videos and that, TV shows that I make a fool out of myself on. I have a shop where you can buy my books. So all kinds of stuff in there that you can get. Yep, there's a couple of coloring books that I've done. So those books go all the way back to 2014, which is amazing. Of course, my guy hasn't put my latest book on there yet, but we're working on that. That's where you can find me. If you happen to be on Instagram, I'm Sour Grapes 2017. You can go there and see me there. I'm going to be at my Comic-Con schedule is starting to load up starting in April. And one of the ones I'm going to be at, I don't know where if anybody lives in the Chicago area, if you're going to go to C2E2, I'm going to be at C2E2 for the first time. I'm going to be with the National Cartoonist Society. I'll be at their booth, which I'm a member of.
Nice.
And I'm just finding out there's some heavy hitters that are in the NCS. Tom Richmond, who is the guy that drew all the Mad Magazine covers, the caricature artist, he's going to be there. I just found out that Ed Steckley's going to be there. He worked for Mad Magazine, and that. So they're all starting to pop up there. So I'm really excited to be there. So that's one of them, and I'm going to be putting up my schedule on the website as well. So hopefully I'll be able to see you guys soon. So,
sounds good. I know we'll run into each other. This con circuit is just so many cons.
There's some.
Oh, I just got confirmed for if you come back to Rhode Island, Ralph, I'm going to be at Anime Con in Rhode Island.
I think I might be there. I think Frank, who was the guy who was able to take me with him. I think he's still going to anime, the Rhode Island anime one.
Yes, I just got confirmed for that. JM and I are going to be at Contropolis,
Yes.
New Jersey, the same company, Alternate Reality. We're going to be there.
And then the following week, we're in Plastic City.
We're in Plastic City. I've got a room reservation for JM at my house.
Yeah.
You can sleep with my
That's the way to
dog.
do it, folks.
Yeah.
You help each other out.
And we're going to Plastic City Comic-Con in July. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So,
Or too much of each other. I don't know.
I shower. So,
as long as we can get clam cakes, we're good.
Yes, I introduced Jeff to clam cakes when he was in Rhode Island. He had didn't you have a coffee milk?
Yeah, because another friend of mine who actually lives in Massachusetts, but he bikes down to he's a lunatic. I don't know. He bikes down to Rhode Island and he gets a coffee milk at the what is it? It's like Sacred Cow Creamery or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, I got caught same weekend. It was Rhode Island Comic-Con. I got coffee milk and clam cakes, and now I'm a Rhode Island resident.
Those sound delicious.
Yeah.
Clam cakes. Gotta have a clam cake.
Yeah.
Gotta have them.
So Sebastian, your turn. Go for it.
Me? Me? Well, you can find me. I have the best Instagram. It's called Sebastian Bones Art. It's supposed to be Sebastian Bonet art, but it's brought to my attention Sebastian Bones Art. So yes, you can find my tart on Instagram.
Ooh, I had that once.
I love it. I take
There's medicine for that.
Listen, I'm in for a good joke and a laugh. But the easiest way you can find me is SebastianBonet.com. That's where you'll find a lot of my links, a lot of my stuff that I work on from the podcast, various different art stuff. I got to update the website soon, but I did put up some samples up there, as well as the Concrete Combat, the first few pages for issue 1. So that is the site where you can find a lot of my links to all of my various sites and all of my various videos of stuff that I've appeared on. You can see right there, Ralph interviewing me, or harassing me. It's one of those.
It was harassing. I mean, I'm interviewing. Yeah.
Yeah, I got blinked 3 times. So I got to do update the site, because good news is that yes, I will be returning doing my first con since 2018. I will actually be dipping my toe in the water with CradleCon in May.
Oh, Cradle! I love Cradle. Great show.
Wait, Sebastian, has it been that long? Really?
Yeah.
Since you've been at a show?
It's been that. I mean, I went to New York City Comic Con last year, but it's been that long since I've really been at a show, like tabling, vending.
Wow, time flies by, man.
Yeah.
And
to me, it feels like I just saw him the other day ago.
I've been in the dungeon. I may have New York City Comic Con news. I mean, so far right now, everything's at 90%, but before any announcements come out, but New York Comic Con might be a positive this year. So you may see me there. But yeah, awesome. That's just me. And you catch me every Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the Nerds It Around, where we talk geek.
There you go, folks. Tomorrow, go check him out. It's a fun show. It's always a blast.
I'm always getting yelled at. I do something wrong. I mispronounced some name. There's a list. I'm winning at the game. I think I have like over 90 names I've already messed up. Ask me to say a Game of Thrones character. It's like it's a bad drinking game. Like, how many Game of Thrones characters can he say wrong? Don't do it. Your liver's gonna die.
It's okay, Bone Tart. You're good.
I take it.
That's funny. I gotta say though, I'm right with you though, because I've never seen Game of Thrones.
It's just medieval porn. That's all it is.
You say that like it's a problem.
Oh my God.
Yep.
All right, folks. I think I got one thing to show, because I don't think I put up anything else because my computer was acting up. Let's see.
Don't lie. You were not prepared.
No, I haven't changed my computer yet. I'm supposed to. That I probably should have done already. The guys were able to get me a beautiful computer now that I can actually work with, but I haven't been able to put it up yet.
Oh.
There goes my daughter putting her 2 cents in. Write Wars, folks. You guys like to write? Here's a beautiful game where it gets your juices flowing. You got a group of people who are working on certain topics, and they all put their sentence, and then they vote to see which sentence gets to the top of the story. It's all beautiful and rocking. And these guys, their Kickstarter is kicking off tomorrow.
Cool.
So go check them out. I'm already a VIP with them. As soon as the game comes out, I am going to be one of the people there checking it out, because I want to see what this is. And I'm always looking for ways to continue the juices flowing when it comes to writing. And this looks exciting.
Sounds juicy.
It does.
Yeah.
So these guys are kicking off tomorrow. Go check them out. If, like we like to say, especially when you see Kickstarters, go sign up to get notified. If you're trying to help out these things, here's a free way that you can do it. You sign up to get notified. It helps out the algorithm, and you guys can help the project get into a better place when it starts. Sometimes you can even make it start as a project we love. So if you want to help,
Cool.
you want to do something for free, there you go.
It's easy. It's free. People, it's free.
Exactly.
FREE.
That's why I like to repeat it, like free. You're like, I want to support, but I don't know. No, it's free. Go support.
Just share my stuff, please.
Everything else I will cover on Wednesday, folks. I think we're at the 30 mark. We should have finished ages ago. So I am gonna put up the beautiful ending like this. What are you waiting for, folks? Go home.